All right, so my live feed may be getting interrupted, but that's because the media, the mainstream is around me. Channel 2, Channel 4 is it's interfering, so that could be causing the interruption with the live feed freezing, picture being blurry because of the mainstream media live and they getting their shots. So I do believe that's the reason why. Trying to step back and keep a distance. Stay live to let y'all see.
You know that.
So again, if y'all can bear with me, I'm trying to move around to get the better connection.
Hello, guys.
Again, my connection is
so
being
apparently,
interrupted.
Let me turn this down
Because of
just so you know what you're watching.
Mainstream media.
There is a riot that broke out in St. Louis City, Missouri. I'm not exactly sure what they're rioting about, but I know that they reported that inmates are armed. So while I'm playing the video, I'm going to get you some more information on exactly what's going on. But seems to be some crazy stuff happening. I don't know.
All right, again, another quick recap to everybody just tuning in, watching the live feed. The location where I'm at, this is St. Louis, Missouri. It is an active riot going on the third floor at the St. Louis City Justice Center. This is, I believe, the second or maybe the third within the last 2 or 3 months. The inmates are still receiving they're not getting the type of care that they need for what's inside the Justice Center, and they're pretty much upset. They were just yelling and screaming a second ago. They need court dates. They haven't got court dates, so they were just yelling at a few minutes ago. We need court dates. We need court dates, and there's a lot going on that we don't know inside the Justice Center. So again, that's what's going on. This is live. This is downtown St. Louis at the St. Louis City Justice Center Jail. All right, so the COs, they already went out. They got escorted out before I got down here. And as I was told, they made their way outside the building. So what's going on inside with the COs, I'm not sure. But again, this is the current scene of what's going on. think I got a better picture. So again, for to everybody watching my live feed, I appreciate it. If y'all can comment once again and let me know how's the audio coming through, how's the picture coming through. I appreciate it. Again, if y'all can make a comments and let me know how's the audio coming through, how's the video coming through. I appreciate it once again.
Okay. Let me turn them down because they're pretty loud. Whew. So there's an incident that happened 2 months ago after February 6th, an uprising that left a correction officer injured happened at this very same place. Today, they broke windows and set fire. It doesn't really say why exactly they're doing this. I'm reading this as it comes out. So apparently there are some bad conditions within the jail, a backlog of cases in the 22nd Judicial Circuit Court. So they're revolting because they're just in there because of all the backlogs. Probably COVID-19. And this is the ramifications. Like, I'm not saying that these people are right.
Again,
I'm not saying that I'm not giving them excuses. But if they have been in there for months and you're not giving them a court date, what do you think they're going to do in there for you to listen to them and get a move on some of these people, some of their court proceedings? I don't understand. I don't get what the local government, the judicial system, what do you think is going to happen when you already have a bunch of men in there, probably overpopulated? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to freaking revolt, which is what they're doing now. So now you got another mess to clean up because you know who's going to attach themselves to this? All the black folks. This video is going to go viral. All the black folks, all the civil rights leaders. This is another moment for them. I'm just saying, stuff like this can be prevented. It really can. This is ridiculous. Please share this video so people can see what's going on. Please. I'm being shadow banned like crazy. People don't know I'm live because I can't go live on my other pages. My page just got put on restriction with the new one I created. So if you could please do me a favor and share this. It's in St. Louis, Missouri, the Justice Center. The inmates are protesting against living conditions and the backlog of cases. People aren't getting their cases heard.
All right, again, so everybody watching my live feed, this is live downtown St. Louis City Justice Center. Another riot going on, as y'all can see. So as y'all can see, this is the crowd outside that form. Let me zoom out.
What I tell you, all these
SJWs
are
at least
coming.
about 102, maybe more than that. That's outside.
All these SJWs are coming. I just told you what was going to happen. Share this live. This is crazy. Wow. For everybody, hold on. For everybody that's just joining, this is a protest that broke out amongst the inmates inside of the St. Louis City, Missouri Justice Center because of the backlog. These men are growing tired of being locked up and not having any idea when they're getting out. And I can't say that I fault them. You know, some people might not be in there for crazy crimes. They might be in there for something petty and they're just wasting away there because you've backlogged all these cases, which is pathetic, you know? And I hope nobody gets hurt either. But these are repercussions of what the country has been doing when they lock stuff down. They stop court proceedings. They stop court cases from being heard. All this over COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? These are the ramifications of it. It's sad. It's sad.
So as y'all can see, the crowd has formed. It got bigger than what it was before. It's at least about 102, maybe more than that, because out here, as y'all can see. Oh yeah. I came across everybody. Man, I meant to call you too, man, but I was on the move and shit. Yeah, I saw your jump. You said what? I saw your jump. I was in the car like a firefighter. Damn. Half man, everybody saw this mug. I'm like, damn. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I'm mainly on Twitter and Facebook. What's your Instagram? Dark Blonde 82. My first one is 82. Yeah. And even on my Twitter, right? Yeah. Dreadhead. Damn, I forgot it. Because I don't even use Instagram for real, but damn. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna try to find it. Give me 1 second. I got you. But you do got my Twitter, right? You do got my Twitter, right?
I don't think so. Man, I might follow you on Twitter, but I can't think of
Oh
it.
yeah. I know. Shit. I'm gonna find out what it is.
What's up? You gotta make your mask, man. I left my car without one.
I got 2 shots.
And my fucking car, damn camera won't work. You see? I got my own dude.
Well, I got the
I've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks. And everybody knows it. I've been talking to them and everything. And they didn't do nothing. And Jimmy Edwards, your coward ass, you jumped ship, motherfucker. You jumped ship. And my cruiser, where your ass at? Where you at? Where y'all at? All y'all that's running from her. I hope you're down here. You need to see this.
This needs to be the topic.
Y'all talked about it for 4 days, and you talked about it. And them kids talked to me, and they was calling me, and y'all didn't do shit. Where y'all at now? Look at the community. Look at all these people out here. Judge Evans, and you think you're gonna get another post? You embarrassing Negro. You think you're gonna get the post? Look what's going on. What's going on? And this is not their fault. This is y'all fault. This is y'all fault. Y'all let this out. Y'all dropped the ball. Now pick that motherfucker up.
Y'all heard it. There's no cut on that. Y'all heard what she said? These kids ain't playing. They're tired of it. The families are tired of it. They're tired of being extorted while you keep them in this condition for years. Pending trial. These people are still in free trial, which means, according to your law, they are still innocent until proven guilty.
All right, again, I'm gonna show y'all the crowd. It's a lot of folks out here. This is St. Louis downtown. Another riot at the Justice Center. The crowd is getting bigger and bigger. There's more people coming down here to see what's going on. As y'all can see. All right, so the reason of what's going on with this riot, this is the third, maybe more if I'm not on the fourth, but this is at least the third riot within the last 2 or 3 months of what's going on. And the reason for the riots, I was told because of the conditions of what's going on inside the jail, for inhumane, no court dates, broken showers, a lot of shit going on. So that's the reason for what's going on right now with this riot. They're fed up. They want their voices to be heard. All right, again, location. This is the downtown, the St. Louis City Justice Center. So riot going on once again inside on the third floor. Inmates are armed, I was told. Again, they fed up. That's the reason for what's going on inside the jail. They want their voices to be heard. They're tired of it. All right, so they might be trying to get out. They just put on a bed sheet.
Hello, everybody tuning in. So this protest broke out. Let me turn it down. Yo, are they breaking out or what are they doing? Oh my God. This is terrible. They laughing. This is not funny. So what's happening is there's a protest, St. Louis City, Missouri. These guys have been in jail for I don't know how long, a lot of them months. Yes, this is a jail. They're waiting for cases to be heard, and I can understand the frustration that these guys all have, and they're just sitting there waiting. There's no reason that there's a backlog outside of COVID. Like for the people that deserve to be in there, cool. But for the ones that are just sitting and you're just holding them indefinitely, that goes against their rights. Like you're not supposed to hold anybody in jail indefinitely without any idea of when they're going to get out, what's happening with their case, and they have no clue. So I'm not saying it's right what they're doing. No, they have every right to protest. As long as they're not being violent, I don't see why they can't make their voices heard if they're not receiving proper treatment. That's only fair. It's only fair. And they're fed up. Shit. Absolutely. I don't think they're breaking out. They are just, it looks like they attached something to that rope and pulled it up.
I met you during the early protesters here.
Oh, yeah, I remember you. Yep.
Facts, bros. You can get BLM and Antifa out whenever, but these guys, you know, not everybody in jail deserves to be there. I feel bad for these dudes. So I wanted to highlight what was going on. This is crazy. It's not cool. It's buffering a bit, probably because of you know what the media does. They jam signals. Yeah. It's a effed up justice system. Facts, Amy. Bring the heat. I'm waiting for this to clear up. I'm sorry, it's so pixelated. The police are there. They're not really doing much, but they're there. From what I'm told, they got the The CEO is out of the building.
All right, so I got to step back once again. I'm losing connection.
Wow.
So I
Look,
got to step back. There's a picture coming through blurry. I got to give me a second.
look. This is what happens. You see this? People go there with bad intentions and they start acting a fool. I can see this turning deadly. People, at this point in time, I understand why they're all there. I get it. People are tired. I understand. But I hope they don't tear nothing up. I hope you stand there and protest responsibly. They ain't gonna listen to me, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Please don't tear stuff up. Don't give them a reason. Don't do that. Because you're gonna be in there right with them, waiting for trial.
Don't know what's going on exactly with this situation.
It's on channel 5. If you could send me the link so I can see it, if you don't mind. Anybody who's watching, please send me the link to my inbox.
What's up? How you doing? Are you on YouTube?
Facts. This is what Democrats wanted. Absolutely.
All right, again, this is downtown. As y'all can see, more people have showed up. As y'all can see on different lines, there's a lot going on. So again, the location, this is downtown St. Louis at the St. Louis City Justice Center. As y'all can see, it's a riot on the 3rd floor. So it might be over with. The inmates left the window. As y'all can see. So I think they do got the situation under control. As y'all can see, the inmates are no longer at the window. Yeah, so they if y'all can hear that, they shooting tear gas inside the building where they were just at. If y'all heard that loud bang a second
Tear
ago.
gas being shot inside the building. Yeah, I caught his remarks. I put it up on social media. I'll play it for you guys. Well, they're tear gassing them, so they ran somewhere else. I don't see anybody else live streaming anything.
So yeah, once again, I do think they got the situation under control. As y'all can see, I did hear a loud bang a second ago. The inmates are no longer at the window.
I said we'll be right back. Oh, is that police officers in the window? Who is that? So supposedly they're armed inside the building.
So yeah, that's pretty much a wrap. Don't know what happened inside, but There are a few bangs for tear gas. It could be or a flash bang. But as y'all can see, they got the situation under control. The inmates are no longer at the window as they were a second ago.
Oh God, they're screaming "fuck 12." Oh God.
All right, again, so everybody watching, trying to figure out what was going on. It was a riot. The St. Louis City Justice Center downtown St. Louis. The inmates, they fed up with the situation, what's going on inside the Justice Center. So that's the reason for the cause of this riot with the inmates. They tired and fed up with the situation, what's going on inside the building.
Oh yeah, they got some. I'll show you the other footage. There's more going on there. Keep vigilant. Yes, it is the same jail from February, Nancy, which like I said, I understand why they're now fed up. I get it. It's crazy what's happening.
All right, again, I do believe they got their situation under control. As y'all can see, the inmates are no longer at the window as they was before. But it is a crowd outside still, and it is. I'm gonna zoom in on this for a second. It is a small fire that's ignited. Not sure what the cause was. It was.
We got another feed. Primetime Patriot is also live. Huh? Yeah, that's a fire. Yep. I don't know if they started the fire. I don't know, man. This is this is wild.
All right, again, this is live. This is going on right now for those asking and wondering what's going on. This is live. And again, this is going on right now. Downtown St. Louis at the St. Louis City Justice Center.
I'm reading the comments on this show, and it's actually pretty disgusting. I don't know who Primetime Patriot is, but it's not your name, dude. Get another name. What's happening, Casey? You're muted if you're talking. I can't hear you.
No, I was just saying, let me kill your stream because I had that up.
Oh, okay.
God damn it. I hate Facebook. No, what's going on there? I didn't see it until your message. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
But not unexpected, I should say. Because this is what happens. we have multiple feeds going on from Twitter showing fires and people getting outraged, and it's not cool. Not cool at all. What is this
Wow.
going to solve? Because the Justice Center, you're going to burn it down. Cool, fine. You're going to burn it down, but what does that prove? What does that do?
Well, I'm probably going to play devil's advocate here because these guys have been waiting for court cases and court dates since COVID started. You know, not everybody in there deserves
Right,
to
so
be
the
there for
situation,
as long as they've been there.
pretty much calm down.
What else? What are their options when you have a justice system that's like railroading you? Are they just supposed to sit there
Like I said again, it was a
and be
riot.
like,
No.
oh, okay, when you get to me, you get to me? And I'm not saying they're right, but I understand the frustration that's happening. Like I do.
Sure.
It's a sucky situation.
I will admit, at least they're taking it to the proper place, not burning down people's businesses and stuff like that, right? Or a Dillard's that has nothing to do with anything, or a
Well, see,
Nordstrom,
is not. These are not. It's only the inmates. The inmates did this inside of the jail. They're the ones that are protesting.
that fire
all the-
is outside.
Yeah, because they were throwing stuff down there, but they were hanging out of that window. They were all hanging out of the window.
For sure, was that inmates?
Yeah.
Okay. I got as soon as I hopped on, that showed up, and I was like, wait, what? Who is this? I didn't know. So if that was inmates, cool. I understand.
Yeah.
I do. But are those the right inmates? Right? If they are murderers, no, they need to be in there for a while. They need to serve their time. But there could be some good people in there being held and not actually going through the process because of COVID. Sure. They need to go through, they need to hear the process. And if it's being held up because of hiccups or excuses, then so be it. Like, no, they should be held accountable too. This is what freedom in America is about. You stand up and you do what you feel is right. But when it comes to this, that's what's interesting to me is I just got off the phone with my sister, and then all of a sudden I saw you're live, and I saw your comments in the chat, the group chat we have, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Usually I'm on top of this.
Yeah.
But no.
It's just unfortunate. This is the same jail that had a riot break out in February because they're not getting their cases heard.
Remember,
and the justice system needs to do better. It needs to do better, period.
Ferguson is not far from St. Louis. It's a suburb. And Ferguson is where BLM and all of that stuff started.
What does that have to do with this though? This is not BLM.
No, but that's where they learned how to start this stuff and how to get attention over these things. Is in Ferguson, if you go back and look at Ferguson when it first began, that's where BLM started. That's where all of this movement started, causing chaos, causing burning down buildings and those things. I'm not saying this is not justified because I don't know the whole movement behind it. But Ferguson is where it began, and that is a neighboring city of St. Louis. So dude, shut up. Whatever, man. Like, whatever. So overall, it just gives us an inkling where it's coming from. Possibly. I don't know enough about what's going on in St. Louis right now to be able to speak intelligently and say what's happening. But I can tell you there's influence there.
Well, I mean, riotings have been going on for centuries. I don't think we can. I'm not going to blame Antifa or BLM for what's happening. This is completely different from BLM or whatever they stand for. I actually understand why they're doing this. This is the only way they can be heard. They're in a jail. The windows are boarded up.
Okay.
They're not getting proper care in there. I'm not saying they deserve the Taj Mahal, but they're still human. And not everybody in there is a
Absolutely.
murderer. Not everybody in there was, probably doing anything bad. There might be some people who are super innocent just sitting in there wasting away. And that goes against a basic human constitutional right. Like
Right.
that's infringing upon someone's rights.
Absolutely.
They don't have a voice. The only thing the only thing they can do is bust shit up. And now, like I said, they're not right. But this is how they make themselves heard.
Well, but make themselves heard. Like, what is this happening for? Is it just because of total justice or the system?
In this case, I believe I don't believe it. I've read at least 5 stories about
Okay.
this particular jail. They're not getting the right to a fair and speedy trial. They're not getting it. And they haven't gotten it since the entire process of COVID started.
I agree.
They're
with
not
you.
getting it. That's why this is
Well-
happening. Now, everybody else that comes, because BLM, they're going to come. All the race hustlers, they're going to come.
Right.
But I'm just saying, I understand why it's happening.
Well, but let's be open and honest here, okay? I understand you said you're being devil's advocate, and you always accuse me of being the middle person, right? So let's be here. What is the goal here?
To make their voices heard. We've been in here.
That is.
Are
that
you
has
going to
been-
let us out? Where is our due process? The same. If we were in there, and the only way we could be heard is to grab the public's attention to say, "Look at this jail," we would be doing the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
That's
The
where I'm
point-
coming from.
No, I agree with you. I see that.
Mhm.
But that is also the voice of BLM and Antifa for the last year and a half.
I think that's a generalization because not everybody is BLM or Antifa.
Fair.
You can't say that's why they're doing it.
But they make a scene to get attention and post it on social media, right?
This dude was just walking by and
All right,
stopped
well,
and seen the
I don't know
riots.
about
I don't
this
know.
dude. I'm talking generally. So this dude, was there a specific person that I don't know about that happened?
This just happened, and people are recording, and they stopped, and eventually a crowd showed up.
Okay. And again, this is my ignorance, and I'm calling it out even for people in the chat and you.
Yeah, ignore them.
It's my ignorance that I'm trying to understand the situation, but I'm also
Uh-huh.
trying to be open-minded and like, hey, wait a
For
minute.
sure.
We
For
went
sure.
through this last year,
Mhm.
and are we doing this again? That's why I'm calling it out. I'm all for. I love that they're going after government systems instead of personal businesses. I'm all for it. Because if you have a problem with a government system, go after them. Do it. Like January 6th, do it. Like
Mhm.
I'm fine. I'm backing you. But I'm not for you going after the mom and pop shops and burning down their stores and making them have to come back and try to figure that out, right? That's not fair. But you go after the government where you have a problem with them, deal. I'm down.
Mhm. Yeah, this is what's happening. Yeah, they don't. There's nobody that's like, "Hey, I'm gonna come listen to you. Tell me what's wrong, and we'll get it figured out."
No,
There, listen. I have had people that I know go to jail. They're not bad people, and they do stupid stuff and they get caught up in crazy situations. So that is, I think that's why I it's not even just that. I can understand people being pissed off about not being heard. We feel like that as Americans. How long are you gonna keep me in this bitch, bro?
well,
Give me my court date and let me out.
I agree with you, but I've also had people say the same message with me last spring going into the BLM and Antifa stuff last summer. And they're like, we're not being heard. And I'm like, guys, like, come on. Like, you're not being heard, but you're burning down a business that has nothing to do with what you're doing is a different story. But again, if this is the case here, they're taking it to who they have a problem with. I'm okay with it. I am literally okay with it because they're taking it to where they have an issue. I don't want to see people going down and burning mom and pop shops that have nothing to do with the situation or change anything. And you're burning down this small shoe repair shop or this small t-shirt or clothing store, trying to figure it out and make their own business. I'm not for that. No, I will call you a terrorist, and I will call you. I will say that you're taking an act of violence. What was that guy doing?
What the fuck?
That's how you get shot, and then claimed because he's black.
I know y'all just saw that.
I'm not playing the race game here. Okay.
No one is.
Yo, where you been at? I ain't been able to go live, man. We got to get a show in. Where you been at?
This person's talking about me. They're trying to tell me to give up and just stop talking.
Why?
There's multiple people saying that because I'm just like, well, let's see the evidence here.
Oh,
but like, guys, chill out. Like, seriously, it doesn't matter, right? But again, I'm in support. If you're taking it to the people you have a problem with, deal. I'm there with you. But I'm not for you burning down random businesses. That's what I'm not supporting. Man.
People are just weird. I'm like, I don't understand why everybody's upset.
Because I'm just saying how it is. Like, it's cool. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Trolls can be trolls. Like,
COVID.
They're mad. If they're mad with me because I don't support burning down a building because of other reasons, then fine. And do what you want. Guess what? I'll support that building. If you come to my town, I'll be back in that building. So be it. But so what's the deal with St. Louis? Is this just over inmates not getting a fair trial or not getting
This is because
getting their time?
This is a jail that's rioted over these same complaints.
Okay.
They're not getting their cases heard, and living conditions are like subpar. And I do know that some jails there's a lot of shitty prisons. Now, it's not a vacation for them, but they're still human. And when you abuse that because you're in a position of power, I don't think that's right.
Okay. So the thing that's interesting is I did see people sitting at that window on like the third floor, I think, and I'm pointing it out, even though people can't really see it. But
This
third
one?
floor. Yeah, up there.
Yeah, that's the inmates. They were up here.
They were up there. I saw that. And I was like, what's going on? I didn't realize if it was inmates, officers, or what, because it was quick as soon as I jumped on with you. But
it was inmates.
Inmates are up there trying to start a fire, so they're running throughout the building.
I don't know what they were doing. I just know they busted through that window and they were holding up signs saying we need help. There was reports that they were armed.
Okay.
But they got the corrections officers out and they were just chilling in the window.
Okay.
They were throwing objects out of there, but look, the rest of the jail, I can't speak for because I'm not in there, but the ones that were in the window, they were asking for their voices to be heard. That's it.
Well, and I'm going to call it out real quick. You posted the link to come on.
Yes.
Clay and anybody that disagrees with me, show up. Let's talk. Let's do it.
Show up.
But it's interesting because if they're trying to do that for that message, I'm intrigued because how did that message get out to where everybody else is supporting them?
So no, if y'all saw that, y'all probably did, but it was a female that rode through.
Hold on.
Pretty much almost hit the firefighter.
I'm curious in that sense.
You said, how do the people know?
Yes.
Well, I'm sure they get phone
She had no
calls, you know, and
regard.
you
She
got
didn't stop.
parents
They had to get out the
that
way. She had to
may have somebody in your family member, and they're telling you about what's going on.
Right.
And over time, you notice somebody's just been chilling in jail for a minute.
Sure.
And like I said, this particular jail gets a ton of complaints. So
It has, for sure.
this is probably just an overflow of ignored problems. Like, you can't keep ignoring things. And well, they're prisoners, so it doesn't matter. Eventually, they're already in prison for a reason. They already are pissed off. Now you combine that with you just leaving them in there, you're gonna have situations like this. I don't understand how anybody's shocked.
No, we're shocked because of ignorance. We don't understand what's going on. Like me here in Utah, I don't understand what's going on in St. Louis. I follow a few people that do podcasts and stuff in St. Louis, but in the area, but I don't know this stuff, right? And so we got to come out. If you want to change things, come out and actually voice it in a political manner to where people understand what you're doing. Again,
Right.
PTP gear, right? United we stand, disarmed we fall. I don't know how more clear you can get than saying something like that, right? And when it comes to this situation, cool. Well, let's make it that clear. Call it out. And that's fine. I am behind anybody that's not being handled accordingly to our justice system. They need to speak out. But if this is it, cool. But for primetime patriots, for you guys, for Be the Change and all of us to not hear about it until right now is weird.
Well, I've heard about it.
You have heard about
I
it?
don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm into. I watch the crime documentaries. You know, I watch different things happening.
Okay.
There have been riots here before. Now,
Yes, there has.
have I like spent all my time reporting it? No. But when you know that this is happening, it's like, damn. Well, then now they're finally really tearing stuff up. Here it is. This is the ramifications for
Okay.
them constantly being ignored. Now,
Fair.
people that don't know about it, that's kind of like we tell the people that don't necessarily know what we're speaking about. Make yourself informed.
Okay.
Look at the jails around you. Look at the conditions of these people, because this is nothing new.
And again, I'm going to claim ignorance because here in Utah, we don't have these problems. We don't. And so I have to understand what's going on in other places and what is presented, right? And Clay, dude, I'm calling you out, dude, right now. Come on and join. If you're gonna want to talk shit in the comments, come on here and let's talk about it. Stop talking shit. But overall, it's like what you're saying. Cool. It makes sense. I would support it. I don't know enough about the situation to disagree, I should say. But I will ask questions to try to understand, which may seem to some people I'm disagreeing, which you understand that very well. But
Bro, that was super gay. I deleted that shit. Stop talking junk. Just relax and understand that he just said, look, I don't know nothing about what's going on. I know that BLM does this, and if this has anything to do with that, I can't support it. But if people are making their voices heard against a corrupt government entity, I'm all for it. That's all he said.
Facts. That is exactly what I said in different words.
What are they protesting? They have been held in this prison for a minute, and they got a huge backlog of cases that they're not hearing. You know, and some of them, a lot of these, it was happening before COVID, but now they're using COVID as an excuse as to why they're not hearing stuff. And I'm going to turn it up so you guys can hear what they're saying. And Clay, you're more than welcome to come on here. So are you, Logic Sphere.
And now we don't have anything because they done colonized us and they done took us and brought us here. And we only work for white people. Like
Now
my
I
man
don't.
said,
I
like
do
my
not
comrade said, we were the
sponsor this
first
message.
of capitalism. This system right now that a lot of African people just love to death because we can get money, we can spend it and all that type of stuff. But we was the first money of capitalism. Not only were we the first money, we was the first workers of capitalism. We was the first commodity. We was the first. We was everything. We was
He's an
bought, sold, and
insurrectionist,
then we was
by the way.
money.
See, man, this is what happens. This is what happens when, man, bro, when you have people that already are under the assumption that they are in bondage, they can't do anything. It's hard out here for me because I'm black. And on top of that, I'm in jail. You get people like that come and spit the same nonsense, man. Like everybody
Right.
has an opportunity in this country. Everybody. Stop saying it's because you're black and we were brought over here. You weren't brought over here, bro. You were born here. You were born here.
The thing that's sad, like Russo did a little bit of with his Blunt Force, his new show that he's doing every day or weekly. I can't remember the cadence, but he did a show today and he was talking about Georgia's new laws, right? And getting an ID to vote. And you're saying people can't afford to get an ID. There's a way you can get a free ID in Georgia.
Oh, man.
Don't blame it on cost.
If you disagree, you could come on here and talk. Like everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome.
Everyone.
And the link is in I think the link, if the link is not in there, can you drop it in there, Russo? Can you drop it in there, Casey?
I'll
drop the link in there, and everybody, if you want to join, you have something to say, you want to talk about this issue, we could talk about it. Link is in there. I think the link. It's weird hearing my voice. Jeffrey, you disagree? Okay.
We dropped links, guys. I just put a link in Facebook. I'm gonna go put it in YouTube. Come and show up. Like, we're not gonna call you. We're not gonna discriminate or call you a piece of shit. Like, we want to have a fair conversation. That's all we want.
I like this. I'm sorry. Dave, come on here, brother. We gotta chat. Come on here, man.
This is, man.
How do I find it? He dropped it in the comment section.
I put it in the comments.
See it in the comment
I'll post
section.
it again. I'll reply to you. Hang on.
There you go.
Let me go find you. Hang on. There you go. Jeffrey, you got it in the comments. It's replied to you directly, so you can show up.
Oh man.
And by the way, there is another name called Primetime Patriot that is out there, which is weird to me.
The comment stopped. What do you mean?
No, food. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
I ordered food because I haven't ate yet. Sorry for the weird noise. So it's also in the YouTube chat as of now. I just put it. Anybody that wants to show
chat,
up,
and it's in the Facebook chat. It will not let me.
No way.
What's your name? What's
Jeffrey
your
Brandt.
name?
Jeffrey Brandt. BRAN. Jeffrey BRANDT.
Jeffrey Brandt. What does your picture look like?
I don't know.
Is that a dog?
Dog with a hat.
I see it. I'm gonna send you a personal inbox, Jeffrey. You should have a message from me.
Inbox on Facebook, right?
Yep.
Because we're seeing your comments from Facebook. That's where you're seeing it, and that's where you're gonna get it. And Christine Yes, I ordered dinner. Shush.
Hello, we have been banned from Facebook. Who's just knows best? What's your name on Facebook? Now there. Okay.
Get there, man. Like, seriously, anybody, come and join us. Like, we want to talk, but it's not anything we're going to disrespect. But seriously, there needs to be a conversation here. And that's how we solve this.
It's just a conversation. But I do want to play this video.
Do it.
In response of, that guy's rant. And I'm glad he ended the stream. He started talking about Africans and being brought here. Here's what an actual African citizen had to say to all the black people that insult her by calling themselves African American.
I only keep doing this because I enjoy doing this. You are not African American. You are an American with presumably African descent. That might not be accurate. You're not all descendants of the slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, in case you don't know. Because again, most of you don't bother doing their homework. Just like running off and misinforming each other and miseducating everyone else. In this day and age of Google, this is quite appalling, to be honest. But yeah, you're just American. Yeah, by nationality, you're American. By culture, you are Americana. So just accept it for what it is. It's what it is. The term AA should never have been coined for use. It is intended to be used because I snatched it myself and every African who grew up in Africa and lives in America as a dual citizen. It's ours now.
Thank you. Damn.
Facts. One of the best shows to ever be put on here. So Jeffrey and Clay, both of you.
Casey's like, yo, y'all talking shit, bro. Let's go.
Let's go. Like, don't come on here and talk shit. Like, let's do it. Like, come on, guys. Jeffrey and Clay, you guys got deals. You got messages in both of your Facebook messages. You can go and check your restricted messages or what is hidden, and you can come on.
Oh, gosh. Why do you feel bad for telling me about St. Louis? That's good information. People need to know that.
Facts.
Well, for all the people in St. Louis, now you know. Y'all got a crappy judicial system there, and they ain't giving people their fair trials.
Right. And if we have to pull it up on the screen, we'll show we messaged you guys just to call you out. Like, we're not going to do this stuff.
Oh God, let's listen to what he said. The link isn't working. Okay, I'll send you another one.
Oh, David? We want
Yeah.
David on here. Absolutely. We want David. Yes, Jeffrey. It was a private message. You have something from me, and I'll send you a link again.
This is the first time I've,
I sent,
tuned
yo,
in to watch
you
this
see
live.
this?
I'm
Question mark.
not really following St. Louis that closely, but obviously, there's a lot going on all around the world, and this is not the first time this has
I'm gonna
happened at
stuff
this
my
place.
face a little bit.
So I'm not sure why there wasn't more precautions taken for it to not happen within such a short period of time, but somehow inmates managed to riot again here, and it's really unfortunate. But it seems like the situation is now under control, which is a good thing. So, yeah. So that's Easter Sunday for you guys. Sorry to bring you guys such a unfortunate news there on a Sunday like today. It should be about positivity and relaxing, and about your faith, and yeah,
Faith.
a lot of people
You're
tonight showing the opposite on a night that should be about positivity. It's unfortunate. A lot of groupthink going on, says Jorge Rodriguez. I agree. Groupthink tonight was a major play in what happened there. People were too focused on just rioting and going against cops to realize the situation at hand. who knows who those people were up there? Who knows who they were? They could have been just random people up there that were murderers. They could have been.
See, this is what I mean. This is when you speak out of pure ignorance.
Shouldn't be getting that kind of attention. That shouldn't be getting, encouraged for their behavior like that.
This people like this, and I'm kind of pissed off. Your name is fucking Primetime Patriot. People like this are abnormally judgmental as shit. Well, this shouldn't have happened on Resurrection Sunday. And who knows who they were up there? They're humans. And those humans have been complaining about not getting fair trials and fair justice. Like, seriously, what the fuck is wrong with Americans, bro? So desensitized. What?
So I see what he's saying at the same time. Remember, when I joined, I'm asking questions to understand, right? I don't know exactly him. I have him up on my TV over here. I learned about him from another channel, but you give people the benefit of the doubt. Again, why these other people are invited on this show. Let's talk about this, right? And let's figure it out. And that's the whole thing of what he's saying. I think he's coming from the very similar ignorance stance that I'm coming from. But he's also trying to be able to broadcast this for others.
Then why make comments? I don't get on here. Look, people do what they want to do with their platforms, but you're held to a certain standard, dude. And
Fair.
if you're giving news, your biased opinion on what you think and being just like super self-righteous, well, this was the day Jesus was resurrected.
Mm-hmm.
You smoking a whole blunt on the day Jesus was resurrected. Resurrected. You're smoking a blunt while getting on everybody else because you don't know why they're in jail. You can't tell me that everybody in that window was a murderer or they hurt somebody. What if they're there for some bunk ass child support sentence? Like,
fair.
Like, get real. There's innocent people in jail. I don't like people like that.
There is
That's
always
judgmental as fuck, bro.
There's always innocent people in jail because our judicial system sucks. It does suck. I 100% agree with you. The problem is we don't understand the story that they're saying. That's part of it, right? But and some of these people need to be out. I don't disagree with that. We can go back 40, 50 years and there is bad decisions made and they got paid for their time because there was a bad decision made during the judicial system. So don't think we'll tell you they're innocent, which is true. Kind of. I'm actually going to say not 99.99% because you got to think about it. Think about how many people plead guilty to get a lesser charge. They don't plead innocence.
If I can interject, it's really interesting if you guys really deep dive into the Innocence Project and the kind of work that they do, and looking at how many people are sitting in jail due to faulty forensics or science. I think it started around the 80s all the way up, and there's a lot of people that are still in jail based upon really faulty evidence. To where it's insane. I think it was the Bundy case that started to use the teeth, the impressions from the teeth. There's a I forgot what there's a documentary on Amazon, and it showed how many people are legitimately sitting in jail due to this guy who kept calling himself an expert. If you notice, in courts, they have all these so-called experts, and those people get those things wrong, and people legitimately sit in jail for decades upon decades, and then when they do get an appeal and they do get out, they get bullshit money. Excuse me, Excuse my
true,
language,
man.
but they do. You can't like compensate time.
I agree with you. I'm just saying there are innocent people in jail. I don't disagree with that one bit. But when we're talking about what we're doing, this is why I'm asking the questions, is to try to understand why this is happening. Is it a BLM thing? Is it an Antifa thing? Yeah, like at those stance, most of the time I'm like, I'm out. Like, no, I don't support this. I don't condone it. Those type of things. But they are taking it to a system or a building that they have a problem with, right? So, fine. By the way, I got a message from Jeffrey. I'm going to send it to him. So, overall, if that's what the problem is because they don't feel that they have gotten a fair trial or have been given the opportunity of a fair trial, fair enough. I'm not going to disagree with them. That is their right in this country.
One of the biggest things that I think we have a problem with, if I could just real interject again, is I think that we do have a upside down system of justice here, where it used to be where you had to be proven innocent, you are innocent until proven guilty, which the actual burden is actually flipped on the United States judicial system right now, where it's legitimately you got to prove you're innocent to the government, and that the burden of proof is really not on the government to prove you did something beyond a shadow of a doubt, or not shadow of a doubt, beyond a reasonable doubt standard. It is the opposite, where you need to prove your innocence. And the problem is with these social justice movements is they're mob law, and they're actually hurting themselves in their arguments because they want such instant gratification and instant, justice, that they are willing to set aside what Lady Justice is. She's blindfolded for a reason. She's got a scale in one hand and a sword in the other, and she stands there as protection for us. But we're not helping ourselves.
No.
With the style of justice we're asking for.
I don't disagree with you. Most of my comments are directed at the people that are saying random bullshit. Like, for example, Clay, I'm going to call you out again, man. You're saying spend one day in St. Louis jail and then let's talk. Then show up. Just come on here and explain yourself. Don't be in the comments. Don't be stupid. Because no one will understand what you're talking about until they actually hear it. I'm hearing you talk.
And don't get me wrong, over here, I'm in Jersey as that comment just came up there, but I do agree that we do have a system problem, but I wouldn't say the police. I attack the prosecutors. That's who I attack. I attack our attorneys. I think that there's a huge problem, and they've been getting away with things that should automatically be disbarment, or ethics complaints or violations, because they do operate in a shade of gray, not really necessarily a black and white, but a shade of gray, with plea deals and the way that they go about their interviews. And look at the Capitol riots, like right now. Like, you look at the 6th and the way the FBI is acting towards anybody who was up in Washington, D.C. I had FBI come to my house, and they try that nonsense with due process, or try to violate my due process. It just didn't work out too well for them. They went back to their office in Newark. But I blame the prosecutors there. I don't blame the police officer who came to my door and questioned me about the 6th. I blame the prosecutor.
Oh, we got a lot of feedback. Where's that coming from? Oh, welcome, Jeffrey. So when you're not talking, I'm just going to hit the mute button on your mic so that we don't catch all the feedback, because I can hear myself talking.
Go ahead and hit it.
Okay. So I'm going to let you come on here and say your disagreement. But if it goes to another level, I will take everybody off the screen and the show will be done. Are we good?
Facts.
Okay. I want to have conversation, but I want it to be productive. All right. So what was your disagreement?
It's been a minute. I was spending too much time and I let my brain rattle a little bit too far. I've never really done this before. This is new technology. My kids could do it, but I can't. Now I can now. How's
welcome.
everybody? Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, man.
We were talking about what was happening in St. Louis. I guess I have a little bit more sympathy because I have watched these riots go on, you know, and it hasn't been BLM. It's just been the inmates inside constantly. Like, this is probably the third time they set fire to this very same jail. This is the third time that they've asked for their rights to be given to them because they're still allowed due process. They're still allowed a right to a speedy trial, and they're not getting it. They're not getting it. So Casey wasn't really familiar with what was going on. And he said, well, I hope this isn't a case of BLM just destroying stuff. And you had said it, just whatever you disagreed with, we just gave you the link so you can come on here and explain what it was.
Can't say that now that you put it front set and center, everyone is allowed due process. I've been waiting on a DUI for damn 3 years now. And when COVID hit, and then I got the attorney and all that, it just seems like it's going to get swept under the rug, or they're going to hit me hard with the hammer.
That's unfortunate too.
And I feel like that's kind of what's happening to these folks that are in jail, and they don't even get due process, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just like with the rioters out front, that's where I might have misunderstood you. You are correct on that, because I didn't see nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
They usually let themselves be known for some reason. They come out of the woodwork, but they're found really fast.
Absolutely.
The thing that irked me, and I said something, or I texted and commented because I haven't seen you, Suni, in a while. How's Buddy Cash doing? Anyways, changing the subject, sorry.
No, he's good. Cash is good. We text. He's good. He's doing what he did out here and there, and he's informing people what's going on. So Cash is good.
Yeah, but like hearing all this stuff about like Georgia and how Delta wants to pull out now, and how they're pulling out the Major League Baseball, and all over practical, normal, easier ways to vote and less ways to cheat. And they're going in an uprise over it. And it's like, come on now.
I feel you.
I know that kind of y'all maybe think the same way I do about things.
Probably.
No, and
I don't want everything for free. I don't want this place to become a communist company. I'm really frightened right now with the shit that's going on, man.
I agree with you. And this is coming from someone that didn't vote for Trump both times. Like, I agree with you.
Yes, David.
We're going to change things, and we will change things. You know how we change things is we unite and we come together. And we put people in place to where we can actually make decisions and do it properly. So don't worry about that stuff, man. I sent links and I tried to get you to come on, not to put you in front of public and chastise you or anything like that. I wanted to have a conversation if you disagreed with where I stood. And if these people are doing this out of good interest and good of their well-being because they're not being treated right due to the system, I'm all for it. I'm 100% for it. I do not know enough about what's going on in St. Louis for me to say what is going on is fair. However, I'm looking at a video right now on my TV over here. It's a bunch of inmates throwing stuff outside of the window. So apparently they're upset.
Yeah.
Am I saying all of those inmates need to be let free? Hell no. Hell no. But I am saying if they deserve to be and have the right to due process, they deserve that 1,000,000%.
Facts. And conversations like this, where you say, well, damn, now that you explained it, I guess I don't got nothing to disagree with. This is why people need to talk. I think a lot of people get on here, they might have hopped on in the middle, they hear something and they're like, Twitter fingers, I'm just about to say whatever. But we're saying the same things. I might be saying it a little differently than you are, but I want justice for these guys, just like I want justice for anybody else, which is why I'm even talking about this story. Because I can guarantee you mainstream media won't have it on TV unless they can pull color from it. They're not going to talk about it.
No.
So
if it doesn't fit their narrative, they're not going to show it.
Facts. I guess I'll be a voice for St. Louis tonight. What's happening? And people will be shocked. I bet you a lot of people are going to be shocked that I'm even talking about this, because I hold people accountable. I will hold you accountable. But when you are being done wrong, I will stand next to you no matter what. And I'm right there. So for the people that are done wrong in this situation, shame on St. Louis. You need to let people out.
I think Republicans get a bad rap, but we actually do advocate for prisoners' rights and stuff like that. I have the same thing going on here in Hudson with the ICE facilities. While the moderate Democrats issued a restraining order on the progressives, I legitimately said, hey, let's go down and see if they have some sort of legitimate claim on human rights violations as a Republican. And that's the way we should be responding. These people are still human beings while they're in jail. They are still offered the same constitutional rights. And we have to advocate just as we would for anybody else. We shouldn't just blow it off and be like, oh, this is a progressive lane. Screw them. These are still human beings.
Well, let's explain it this way. You take away anybody else's rights that's a United States citizen, right? You are taking away your rights at the same time.
Absolutely.
So as soon as you actually take away a prisoner's rights to due process and those things, regardless, like he could be a rapist, he could be a murderer, I don't give a fuck. But you take away those things, you are taking away your rights to do to the same things. We can't do that. Everybody has the right to due process in the United States of America.
Facts.
And we have to respect that. I don't care as much as you hate Epstein. As much as you can hate Epstein because of what he's done, he still deserves the same rights as you got.
I don't know.
No, he does.
Pedophile.
How can you take that away from him?
He's a pedophile. If you hurt children, I don't have any sympathy for you. I don't give a fuck.
I'm not saying
what
sympathy. I'm saying the rights for due process and jail and court process.
Sure. He
That's all I'm saying. I want him hung. I want Epstein hung, but he's already dead due to the Clintons in my mind. But anyways, when it comes to those people, they deserve the same process as we get.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I think the bigger issue though is it's not necessarily due process. I've seen a lot of abuse from CEOs before. A lot of abuse of power. If you guys remember that experiment, I think it was Stanford or one of those Ivy League experiments where they put the police where they one set was police, one set were prisoners, and you watched how quickly it turned into abuse. I think there's a movie on it as well. I forgot the name of it. I think it was a Stanford experiment. But it quickly shows what goes on in these jails. And I've visited some of these, and I will tell you, these CEOs they can quickly become a problem.
Yeah.
And they, sometimes there are people that are sitting in these cell blocks that are trying to get out because their life is, possibly going to be threatened. And these CEOs don't do anything to move them. And then you end up with deaths, or you have people literally living in their own feces, or you got people legitimately there's so many abuses I can sit here and name for some of these jails. And these advocates, they only have themselves really. These prisoners have advocates within themselves, but then when they portray it across to the leadership, whether the leadership takes that seriously or not is something that I think our legislative leaders need to be looking into. And I do agree with things like BLM when they say stuff like that. Because as I said, BLM locally here in New Jersey has been attacking the ICE facilities based upon those claims of human rights violations, because you have immigrants that are like sleeping on top of each other, almost like you have over there in Texas and Arizona. And I would agree 100%. Something needs to be done here. And I think, as I said, we as Republicans should be doing a little bit better on that and getting out there and being the forefront and saying, hey, you know what? We actually do care about this. And getting out there, because a lot of times it looks like we don't care.
It does. I agree.
It looks like we don't.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't think we pay attention nearly enough as Democrats do to situations like this, because we're so. I'm not saying we can't be straight and narrow. You can still do that, but acknowledge that, damn, that's an injustice, and we need to go fight for them too. We can't expect them to want to vote Republicans when Republicans ain't giving too much. You're not very inclusive of a lot of people. You know, we only have 2 prominent Black conservatives. And I love Candace Owen and Brandon Tatum, but why do they speak for everybody? Why don't you, like, if you really want to reach the world, honestly, if they truly felt like Donald Trump did, which is America first, they would have no problem opening the doors. But they don't.
Let me explain this why. Right? Is everybody expects other people to do the work. Like, again, we're not holding ourselves accountable to make sure to show up at the voting polls, make sure things are being handled appropriately for how we want things to be done. We just expect, oh, we can voice it on social media, we can send an email, and that's all I need to do. No, you need to be more engaged than that in the political world, especially right now. Right now is crazy. It's crazy on how engaged I have to be here in Utah. And Utah is a red state. I shouldn't have to be super engaged. But I have to send texts. Well, Mitt Romney's a douchebag, and I didn't vote for him, and I did not. He got in because he is a LDS member, and people trusted him, and that was it. Yeah. He did not do anything. He embezzled money from the 2002 Olympics, took in money for favors and stuff like that and making decisions, and no one wanted to acknowledge it. And here he is. Yeah. He comes back to Utah after being in Massachusetts. He comes back here because he's like, LDS religion will bail me out. And that's exactly what happened.
Hey, I have no room to talk, man. I came from the state of Christie. So I got no room to talk at all.
Well, Christie's a piece of work too, right? But we got to remember, our engagement changes everything. It really does. And we have the power. That's where it comes from. If we change the next 2 elections and we vote for the people that we really want in there, it will change the world.
I mean, one of the biggest things, since we're talking about criminal justice reform, one of the biggest spears wasn't even Candace Owens or Brandon Tatum. It was Angela Stanton King. If you guys remember from 2020, and we know that something is messed up when she gets annihilated in her race for speaking the absolute truth from being an inmate, going through all that process, getting pardoned by Trump, and still losing by like 80. It was like she lost. It was like 80% of the vote went to that Democrat, and that Democrat didn't give a damn about the judicial system or the criminal justice system. And you really look at what really transpired. It's the same thing as I would say with Kim Klacik. The fact that she lost by that amount. Joe Collins. Like, we got these legitimate Black leaders that you even had one, as I said, Angela Stanton King, adopted by one of the actual kings, like, civil rights leaders.
Yep.
And she still can't win. Like, we got a huge problem. And I think it goes back to what Suni said, which was a culture war that we got going on here, that we are losing it as Republicans. When you have a relative of Martin Luther King Jr., well, technically she's adopted, but still.
Yeah.
She can't even break through the barrier to get into Congress.
It's tough, man.
And she was an inmate pardoned.
Go ahead, Jeffrey. You look like you want to say something.
The shit's huge, and To be frank, it actually frightens me what's going down right now. It's only going to get worse, too. It fucking sucks. But like my man at the top, Casey?
Yeah.
Like you were saying, you know, it's up to us to get out there and do our part, too, and not just get on here or, you know, do whatever. I remember a couple months before Trump was elected, me and my 8-year-old son grabbed 2 big flags and we walked down the street, and I said, hey, let's see how many people will honk at the American flag as we're walking down the street, you know. And he counted, he's like, that's 5 million. He was so excited, and I was trying to just get him to instill that into my kids. And people need to do that now more than ever with our kids. After being off school for a year.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've got 4 little ones. The oldest is going to be 14. And with all this cancel culture and just destroying it from within, and like, make sure your teacher, if you guys have kids, make sure your teachers are teaching your kids the right things too when you're not around, and brainwashing their butts.
Well,
but I'll mute with that. If I get off of here, I'm getting tired. I got to work in the morning, but I'm going to listen for a minute. God bless everyone. Happy Easter.
God bless you, man. Happy Easter.
God bless America. And I'll see you guys soon, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, man.
All right. Later, guys.
We appreciate you.
So Jeffrey represents 80 million plus who are scared. They don't know what's going to happen. I understand how some people feel like my vote doesn't matter, but your vote absolutely does matter. If 80 million people, 80 million plus voted in a federal election, 80 million plus need to get out and vote in a state and local election. That is the only way you destroy it. You want to break the invisible ceiling that Hillary is always talking about? It comes with work from all of us. We can't put our heads in the sand, cry, fall apart. That's getting nobody anywhere. Like, it just doesn't. I'm telling you, if people come together, we're getting a list together. We're working with David. We got another affiliate in Florida. Christine is helping. We know some people in Ohio. Kaylee's on board. I'm going to be bringing politicians on Make America Think Again that are running. And I'm going to ask the questions that you all want to hear. This is before you get prepped to go in front of media. I want to know what you're really running on. I did the same thing with David. That's why we're so close. I'm like, dude, I respect you, but I'm about to grill the shit out of you.
Oh yeah, y'all were savage. And I got a congressional race coming up, and I already am like, dang, you know what? I got to prepare for this one. Sunni about to kill me.
We're coming, buddy.
Hey, look, I'm going to take you down, Jeffrey, but thank you for coming on, okay? And know that your voice is
y'all
heard.
from Wichita. Deuces from Wichita, Kansas.
Awesome, man.
Let me take him down. Your voice is heard, man. I'm going to be asking the questions that everybody wants to know. So this is your time as an American to find out who's running locally. I have your incumbents. I have every incumbent written down right here. I know who's up for re-election. I know who's up for term limit. Now is your opportunity and your job to let us know who's running locally. I don't live in your states. I can't be the one that's in here Googling everything. It takes a collaborative effort, and we can all do it together. So I hope you guys are excited as I am, because I'm ready to ask some questions. Kick ass and take names. It's what I'm doing.
If I can get Phil Murphy to come on there so you guys can destroy him for me, that'd be great. But Phil Murphy ain't going to come on anything and answer any questions.
Probably not. That's how you tell a lot about a candidate. You don't even want to talk to the people. Okay.
Give me his contact information. Let me see how I can do it.
It's, to tell you the truth, it's actually the East Coast way with politicians. We have like 6 or 7 degrees of separation, and we don't answer questions. We put out posts, and you will never see a candidate go in there on purpose. Like they won't argue with you on a post. They won't say anything. They'll just put out something and that's it. They barely even show up to debates because it's all about money.
Facts.
So, I mean, to me, I just noticed that from New York and New Jersey politics. That's just the way we are over here. Now, me, I engage with everybody. I haven't got a problem with that. So, but
It's because you're normal.
I got to screw loose with that.
You're normal,
right? You're normal. You're like, yeah. What do you want to know?
Because you got to answer to the people. I hate that. I hate people who like legitimately think they're above the people, and that's what I got with the Republican front runner for governor. He won't answer any freaking question. And he won't ever like talk to the people. He just talks to like the establishment groups, goes to like golf country clubs, and that's pretty much it. He already has what he believes is the nominee secured or nomination. So
yeah, and to emphasize what you're talking about, like one of the people that ran against Burgess Owens going for a Senate seat in Utah is Kim Coleman. She was my local representative in West Jordan, where I used to live, and I moved out. And I sent her a text and I said, "Hey, like, sorry, I'm not in your area anymore. I hope you run federally so I can support you again and be in your corner. I still will be, but it's hard when I don't have any power." She told me she's running for the Senate seat. I was like, hell yeah. Like, she is amazing. The part of the reason why she is amazing is her interaction. Like, I can send her a message right now, and I would probably get a message either tonight or first thing when she wakes up in the morning. Would I get that response from Mitt Romney? Hell no. Absolutely not. And those are people that are serving for the country and for the people. That's not my expectation that they respond to me like this, but at least I get a response.
Facts.
Yep.
Some of the local people I get responses from they're like, I don't believe in that. And I'm like, who cares what you believe in? You serve the people. Get over it.
Yeah.
And that's where things change, right? And so, David, which is why I love what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing. You're actually trying to reach out and being engaged with the public, and people need to see that. We don't have that today.
It's the same thing with I got a counterpart in the 9th district over for me. He literally went on Tim Pool's podcast, right? And Tim Pool is he's like, all right, give out your information. He gave out his cell phone number on Tim Pool's podcast, and he was getting dinged right then and there. And like, he picked up and was like, hey, yeah, this is Billy. And he's like, that's just who I am. And that's what we should be as leaders. Like, we don't care where you come from, just call us. And we're gonna have disagreements. Obviously, I get called by Democrats all the time who say some off the wall crazy stuff, and I'll still talk to them. I mean, I even get threats, and I'll just say God bless you. But it is what it is. But you still got to be accountable to the people.
Absolutely,
Tommy.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna read Tommy's comment, and I've got to go get my babies.
Yeah,
but stop crying, bro. That's all I got to say to you. Stop crying. November 3rd, 2020 happened. It's gone. You can't bring it back. What's the point of crying about it? And how do you know that if you just tried, like, man, let me just go vote and practice my duty as an American? How do you know if millions of you across the US did that, it wouldn't work? You don't know because you're too busy crying. I've never seen so many weak people. I like, oh my gosh, and I'm not being mean.
Hey, Donald Trump's going to become our president in August.
Girl,
to give you a good example, they did that with Murphy, right? So Murphy's election 2017, he gets 1.2 million votes. Kim Godano gets over 800,000, but there was 3.5 million non-voting New Jerseyans that could have definitely swung a Republican governor. They just chose not to show up because they thought the same thing. That's you. That's not, if you're not going to show up, then that's what you get. You get Murphy. That's just the way it is.
Oh God. Thank you guys for coming on. We're going to have a good outcome for 2022. I think so. I'm excited. I can't wait to meet everybody and talk to people. Christine got banned from Facebook for 3 days because Clay was being a snowflake.
I'm getting
reporting
messages.
comments.
I'm getting messages from others that he turned him in. I'm serious. I just got one.
He turned him in. Oh Lord. Let me get off of here. I'll talk to you guys off the camera. Thank you guys for listening. And look, St. Louis, it's bad what's happening there. All right. If you haven't heard about it or you don't know what I'm talking about, look into this jail. Because this jail is full of shit. Other jails across the country are full of shit too. But when they are making their voices heard, that's when we as Americans are supposed to tune in and listen and figure out what's going on. Don't just ignore it because they're inmates. They're people too. I clicked it. What the frick's going on?
Yeah. You want to go get in the hot tub?